I invested in Dubai, 2017. Yeah, so married at the time. So me and my husband, we bought a flat, actually. We bought an apartment, which was our family home. And bittersweet, because obviously I went through divorce, we sold the property, and I'd say I lost about £80,000 off that investment. Was about $100,000. It's a lot of money to lose out on.
Let's talk DXB. Real conversations by real people.
Ainsley, thank you for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. Now, I brought you into the studio because I want to pick your brain, actually. No, and I say that because, again, Let's Talk DXB is about real conversations, real life stuff that happens, my life. I'm learning to share, a bit more about kind of what my journey's been like for 10 years in Dubai, good and bad. So property, real estate is a topic that I wanted to talk about. Why? I invested in Dubai, 2017. Yeah, so married at the time. So me and my husband, we bought a flat, actually. We bought an apartment, which was our family home. And bittersweet, because obviously I went through divorce, we sold the property, and I'd say I lost about £80,000 off that investment. Was about $100,000. So yeah, not what I expected. Obviously, because obviously when people say, you buy and then you'll make a profit and, it's a great investment, which it was at the time. It was our family home. So we lived in it for 6 years. Mortgage was very affordable. The interest rate was fantastic then, not like now. So obviously you didn't have to deal with landlords, increases, the RERA calculator, all of those annoying things. But obviously it's a lot of money to lose out on, which was really painful. So for me, it's about making wise choices. We were first-time buyers in Dubai, and definitely I want to reinvest. So I'm looking to see if I can just rebuild. Obviously, a season of rebuilding, when you go through divorce, you have to kind of map out what that looks like. And I have a son. So, I'm trying to at least leave things behind for him for when he grows. So it's about making wise choices in terms of investing in real estate. Definitely don't want to lose almost £100,000 again. No. So this is where you come in, because I know you've been in the industry for quite some time, and you've set up your own company. And, I just had a few questions about, if I'm looking to reinvest, some things that I should be mindful of in this present time, because obviously the market's very different to when I bought before. So I wanted you to tell me a bit more about your experience, and I'll fire some questions at you as well.
No problem. I mean, so the market here in the UAE is similar in some aspects to many of the other markets. Yeah. Of course, in London, where we're from, you have great investments, and also you can have investments that don't do as well, right?
Very
and
true.
Or you can lose money.
Yeah, it's not just a Dubai thing.
Yeah. So that can happen. That can happen. I mean, listen, it's never good to lose money on property. Yep. And that's not the object of the game. And when anybody goes in, I heard the fact that you said that you had the good years that you lived there as a family, and obviously you understood that you benefited in that regard. But no, you don't want to be. The object of the game is not to buy high and sell low.
That was painful. I was like, what?
That's not nice. That's not nice at all. So I mean that's unfortunate. But on the flip side of that, as I'm sure you're obviously more than aware, there are also people that have done exceptionally well, done really well with real estate in this market as well. So do your research, which I think you kind of is very, very important. It's important that if you are looking for something, that you do work with people, companies, brokers that understand what they're doing, that understand and that are able to advise you in a good way. But you're also able to kind of go away and do your own due diligence as well. I think is important.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I think that's huge learning. I mean, we went in and we bought Offplan, which just worked for us because at the time we wasn't ready to move straight away and whatever. So at the time, and the place we bought in actually, which is now very much developed, metro line right outside. It wasn't when we lived there. Yeah. Construction zone. It's community. Schools are there. Shops are there, etc. So a very vibrant place, but it's also a community where they were building a lot more townhouses, which seems to be the up and coming thing now. So a bit smaller size than villas, but modern as well, quite European style, which is what a lot of people are looking for. So apartments in that area, people don't want to spend that much. Service charge is such a rip-off, in my opinion, and you don't have to pay that much when you live in a villa or a townhouse, and they're building a community of them. So at the time when we were selling, very few people were interested in buying an apartment. They'd rather put that money into a bigger space, naturally, and lower service charge. But it is a very good community to live in. I think it's got everything you need at your doorstep. So I think for me, it's about location, what you buy, the time that you buy. I'm learning all of this, but you would know that. So before we jump into too many details, tell me about your property experience, the company that you set up as well.
When I was in Nairobi, I actually purchased a property in Dubai from there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because
so living in Nairobi, but invested in Dubai.
Correct. Right. Off-plan as well. Off-plan as well, because I knew about, I had after being in Dubai for 15 years, I knew the areas, I knew what worked, what doesn't work, so funnily enough, I was with my daughter in Dubai, speaking to a friend on the phone. He said, I'm thinking about getting a property. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Send it through. He sent it through to me. I said, that's quite interesting. And I knew where the location was, and I was like, that's got some potential. So I said, I think I'd be interested in getting involved in this as well. Please check to see if there's any more. And he did, and there was, and I brought it from there. Yeah, job done, really. But that's because I have a lot of experience in the actual country, and I spent time here, and I knew the market. So I was able to get that off plan, and then the plan was that we were going to move into it as a family unit, but I wanted the family to be able to be at a different location because it was the first time for them coming back to Dubai. Right. So and that property was a little bit further out.
It's a bit remote.
Yeah, it was Jumeirah Park. It wasn't really crazy.
Well, now, Jumeirah Park. Yes.
So it was Jumeirah Park. So and then I ended up actually short-term renting that property, which actually ended up being really, really, quite lucrative. Yeah, for sure. Because after the pandemic, people were looking for villas to move into as opposed to apartments.
And that's exactly, and we sold at a time, we only sold recently, I'd say 4 weeks ago now, but at a time still, people want more space now, naturally, because of the fear of ever being locked in. You don't want to be locked in an apartment. That's smaller size. So that works well. Jumeirah Park's a great location.
It was fantastic. It was it was really fantastic property. It was really, really nice property, and it rented really, really, really well as well.
I can imagine. And what's made you set up your own thing then? Like, let's go back to, have you always been in real estate, or like how did you get
I've always been in property. I've always been in property in some way or form. And since coming back, one thing I wanted to do was be able to have flexibility. So I could kind of, do other things that I wanted to kind of do. But in addition to that, I wanted to, because of the project that I'd already started myself with property, I wanted to be able to help enable other people to be able to do that as well, which kind of what I think what you're alluding to and what you're saying, to help other people to be able to, because with the right experience, you are able to do very well from it. And I wanted to be able to, play it forward as it were, and be able to help other people to be able to do that as well. So I've set up a real estate operation that enables me to be able to help other people get properties that are off market before they go on the traditional property platforms that we're all used to seeing as well.
So not the usual, like me going on Property Finder, which I do most evenings just to suss out what's on the market for sale, but you're doing the ones that are completely off market, so no one would know about them. Before that. So I think many people have gone onto the property portals. They've phoned up about something. Oh, is that still available? No, it's not. It's already gone, which can be a little bit frustrating for some people, right? So what I wanted to be able to do is offer people opportunity to get properties before they go onto the portals, and be able to get them direct from source, as it were, and to be able to help people benefit that way. That's a great idea as well. And you get that kind of direct contact, because being here for 10 years, dealing with real estate agents takes patience. Now I've kind of found my groove. I've got some, good contacts that are reliable, responsive, not wasting your time, but having, a reliable person that knows the market as well and able to show you something before 1,000 other people see it. That is a good idea. It's
paramount. It's paramount to have a good broker or a good agent that you can work with, that's trustworthy, that cares, that's knowledgeable, that understands the market, knows what they're talking about. is worth its weight in gold. And I would say that would be you know, the most important. The challenge is not only in this market but in other markets as well. Many of the guys or girls that are doing it, they're focused so much on the commission. They're not really focusing on much else, right?
Just don't care.
They don't maybe their level of competence for caring may not be as high as possible. And I think that can be a challenge, and it can be. And I experienced it myself, right? So you know. One guy, he said, "Oh, this is the property. The door's open. Go round there. Go have a look. See if you like it. If you like it, let me know and send me my check."
Thank you very much.
Send me my check. The only time I saw him was when I was getting the receipt for the check I was giving him. I was like, "I haven't seen you yet."
Thanks for the service. What am I paying you 5% for?
Exactly.
So
exactly. So that's challenging, right? So try and avoid those kind of guys and try and go with people that will actually you know, will listen to you, understand what you want.
Oh, definitely.
And can kind of help you along the lines.
I remember when we did Offplan 2017, but I think obviously Dubai Land Department, the government had put in a lot more to kind of secure people's investments, because you hear all the horror stories, I think way back, where people were putting down money, the development is just sitting there as concrete basically, never built. There was an escrow account which kind of locked our money in as they built and all of that. So I felt very secure. I probably still would do Offplan. I think it depends on the developer. For me, it was a bit of a struggle to kind of get an update on where the development was going. I would literally rock up on a weekend, talk to the watchman and let him give me a hard hat and go and have a look. Like I was that annoying person, because I wanted to see what was happening, because the lack of communication and that fear of I'm working hard, like literally working hard to put money to be able to build, to have a family home. That can't go down the drain. Correct. And that has happened, not just here, but you know, around the world. So would you still say Offplan, I mean, you did it and it's paid off. Would you still say it's a safe option to do?
I would say that the government here work really, really hard for transparency and to try and help with that. So that's a big plus point, and that's why, you know, the market is, you know, is doing so well and has done so well. Number two, you saying, would I say Offplan? Would I not say Offplan? I'd say different things appeal to different people based on different situations. So I would never blanket and go and say, you know, go do Offplan, or the opposite. No, stay away from Offplan. Different things with different people at different times, right? Depending on what you need. And so I would base it more on what are you looking for and what are you looking to get out of it. And then based on that, then I'd probably offer a solution that works to your needs and your requirements, right? So I think I'd work it back the other way around. So I have done Offplan myself, you know, and I've done it's worked out successfully for me and you know, as it has for other people as well.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, for me, I think the only thing is, well, there's so many Offplan developments, right? And I get called daily about, you know, if you want to invest, look into this. Seeing the quality of that Offplan, like we bought somewhere which was, we fitted it out, so it was kind of like what it was, but definitely then spent a bit more money to make it into what we wanted. The quality wasn't kind of what they sold, you know, all of these things that you get. So we had to do a lot of work to get that to the standard that we would want to live in, or even rent it out. So I think that's my only fear in terms of the developer, the quality, because all you see is like 3D designs, right? You see one or two nice show homes, but they're building communities. These are like thousands, you know. Sometimes that quality check and consistency is my nervousness if I was going to do that. But I think it's about knowing who you're buying from, and I've educated myself enough now to kind of check that.
One of the things that's really important when you're buying any property, whether it's Offplan or whether it's, you know, a ready property, is understanding the developer that's done it, and also looking to see historically what they've also done as well. That can give you a lot of knowledge as to potentially what you could get out, because if they've consistently, you know, done a low level of finish on previous properties, there could be a strong chance that maybe this potential, you know, property could also have a similar level to what they've done previously. If they've got a really high reputation of really good finishes, then, you know, typically you can kind of, you know, have an educated guess as to where they can kind of go. So that kind of knowledge is the kind of knowledge that your broker should definitely know, and they should be able to tell you and understand that, and be able to guide you based on your budget, you know, and what you're looking to achieve out of it. So homework is important.
Learnt the hard way. And in regard to, obviously it wasn't what kind of they sold, but we made it work, and, you know, worked out for the kind of 6 years that we owned it. But I think that's definitely what I'm looking into. And also I think Offplan, I'm noticing a lot more Offplans are like 50-50. So 50% down payment, and then 50, you know, if you want to mortgage it, whatever. Those days, I say like it's years ago, but those days like 20/80. So you put your 20%, 25%, down, and then the rest mortgage. So are you seeing that a lot more as well?
Yeah. I mean, the many of the developers, they are, you know, they're trying to offer to the market what they know is going to, be best recognised in the market and is going to appeal to, the customers that they're looking to sell to. There's definitely been a shift in terms of the way that's kind of being positioned and the way that's kind of being put down. But we're also seeing many of the developments are selling out quite quickly as well.
Massively.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! In my community, like where I'm renting now at the moment, I do want to stay in that area. That's where we bought. So for me, it's home for sure. Yeah. But they are building like crazy. I feel like I'm back on a construction site actually. Like we moved there on construction, everything got developed, and just so happens the townhouse I'm in, they're building around me now. But I would say probably that side of that community, I would say probably like 80% already sold. And it's not finishing until like Q2 next year. Yeah. So the demand is definitely there for sure.
Demand is really high at the moment. Yeah. And what we're seeing is many people from around the region and globally, you'll be seeing more and more people looking towards UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai to relocate for a number of reasons that we, safety is one of the top ones. Yeah. For families as well, as well for themselves. Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of people now start looking to this market.
And then location, actually, because I've been in this area since 2017, very much comfortable there, love it, but obviously open to trying different places. Now, I've been in Dubai for 10 years, but I've always lived like this end, which is I would say Marina, JLT, a bit further now I'm in Al Fajan. But in terms of what are you seeing in terms of popular areas where people are looking to buy, because Dubai South is a whole nother community. Like I started to branch out a bit more there as well, and that's very much up and coming. So which areas are you seeing?
What we're seeing more and more of is kind of what I would coin the phrase like a 10-minute city.
Right.
So what we're finding is in all of these different areas, whether it's Dubai South, whether it's the Marina, JLT Pump, wherever the different areas is that we're seeing the communities come up that are self-sufficient. Yeah. You're seeing that you've got your local, your shopping mall. You're seeing that you've got your school typically. You've got all the different services that you need within 10 minutes of your location. So what we're seeing now is before, when previously people used to kind of move around quite a bit to go from one area to another area, we're seeing that people now are getting in their areas, getting their communities, loving it. It's got the facilities, and they're not moving around quite as much as they typically used to. Yeah. Which also for the country is a good thing, if that can ease the traffic, because you don't have to go from there to there. That can also make a lot of sense as well. So that's definitely what we're seeing, that people are kind of like staying more within their communities, staying more within their areas, and they're not really moving around as much as the previously we used to see here.
I think it's having that foresight, right? If I was to move somewhere out, what are they building in that community to make it accessible, even if it is a year's wait or whatever. But I'm noticing a lot more people moving further out, but in those areas where they can access everything. So it's not a bigger deal in terms of if you're not in the flashy lights of Marina anymore or downtown.
Correct. People are definitely moving out now. They want more space. They want more freedom. They want more value.
It's a lot more affordable. It's a lot more affordable. I'm noticing that. It's a lot more affordable.
But then they have their community that they're able to stay in and be able to get all the things that they need to be able to get in those communities as well, which is really nice.
For sure. And tell me more about off-market listings then, in terms of types of properties that you have. Are they typically villas? Are they quite varied? Like what type of clientele are you targeting as well?
So we have apartments, we have villas, and we also have penthouses. Okay. Typically, most of the properties that we have are for sale. Right. Sometimes we'll have somebody say, "Listen, we need to rent X, Y, and Z because we're waiting for something to be finished. If we're waiting for something to be built." That's basically the crux of it. Is being able to help people either sell a property that they have. Not everybody, when it comes to selling a property, wants everybody to know that they're they're selling it.
True.
Some people, for many different reasons, may not want the neighbours to know that
our property's up for sale.
Yeah, property's up for sale, so everyone can kind of come and have a little look.
Yeah.
They might want to just be a little bit more discreet with that. So we help people be able to just be able to, you know, just if you want to sell a property off market, we're able to help you do that. But also, if you want to buy a property, or you haven't been able to find a property that you're looking for on the portals, then you can reach out to us at Off Market List in Dubai, and we'll look through what we've got that's off market.
Right.
Many, you know, it's becoming more and more often for owners to say, I'm looking to sell my property, but I'd rather sell it off market as opposed to selling it, you know, a front of house, whatever, for a multitude of different reasons. And we help people be able to just do that, connect the dots as best we can. And if someone's looking to sell, someone's looking to buy, and we can do the whole deal, then we'll help people facilitate that and put it together.
It seems like it just makes things a lot easier from what I'm hearing from kind of what you guys do, because being end user, first moving to Dubai, having to deal with 10 real estate agents that don't turn up and just tell you open the door and someone's living there. I've had all of that. To obviously buying in Dubai and not being well educated enough probably on the developer themselves. It all went through and whatever, it was fine, but the quality of what they sold, to then selling and then having 100 real estate agents just pester you saying, even now today, 5 people called, I want to sell. I was like, it's sold, it's gone. Get me off this list. Where are you getting my number? So just having that point of contact that is a bit more reliable, is a bit more low key, so you're not bombarded by agents. That is,
I think that is, that is one of the banes, I think, for sometimes when you go with many of the big different companies, I think maybe they have a database, and then once you're in there, you kind of,
I can't get off. I don't own it anymore.
So I think many people are saying, listen, that's all fantastic what's going on there, but I'd rather a kind of a more discreet private service where my telephone number's only in somebody's phone and it doesn't go anywhere else. I'm not going to get called. Hounded. I think so
I've been on that side. I'm still going through that side, but definitely, I feel like Dubai, obviously they're building so many, and the types of developments, again, what I'm seeing is more kind of European modern style, probably a lot more smarter with the land that they're building. They might seem a bit smaller, but being quite smart with layout and design. So there's so many great options out there now compared to when even I was buying 6-7 years ago. But I'm definitely interested in reinvesting, but making smart choices, because I cannot, I don't want to buy somewhere. And even if I'm leaving it for my, for my son when he gets older, I don't want it to be at a loss, because that was quite painful to be what? We're not getting profit or even what we paid for out of it. Obviously we got something because we've been paying off mortgage for, the years, but you always have this in your mind, I'm going to sell it at a profit and get way more than what I put in. So I think, that was a huge learning for me. Yeah,
you're right. It's important to be able to make, educated, right decisions. And mitigate that as best you can, so that you're not left in a situation like that, because it's not nice for everybody, for anybody for that to happen, right? So, and that's working with the right people. I think is really, really important to kind of, you may not always get everything right all the time, but you can definitely do as much as you can to try and stack the cards in your favour to limit that.
Well, you live and you learn. I mean, I've definitely got a lot out of that process in terms of reinvesting.
You won't make that mistake again.
I definitely won't be paying service charge that's through the roof for an apartment. So I think I've definitely learned a lot in regards to kind of what that next step looks like for me, to make smart choices, just not for me, but also for my son as well. So when he gets older and wants to invest, then I can also guide him through that as well. Great. Well, that's been really helpful. I've definitely taken away some learnings from that. So when the time is right, I will definitely be thinking about these points.
It's important. It's important. Just take your time, do your homework. But also the other thing is, when you are ready, make the move, because the other thing that a lot of people do, and I speak to people all the time, they're like, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this number, I'm looking at that number, and you never know when to catch a falling knife, right? You can't. It's like trying to work the stock market to actually know whether. So one bit of advice I say: do your homework, do your research, understand exactly what you want to do, why you want to do it. Once you've done all of that,
just go for it.
Then make the move. Well, if it is right, make the move, and don't procrastinate and hold back.
You lose out, actually.
Because you can lose out. Not knowing when to, if it's safe to cross, then cross.
This is the risk talking Ainsley talking to the not risk taking Sharon, but I'll figure that out. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for sharing that wisdom. So, yeah, that's been really helpful.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed
No worries.
it.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's Talk DXB. Real conversations by real people.